Welcome back to Lesson 7 on Pro Tools 10 for the Windows users, for the absolute rookie, the absolute newbie, the absolute beginner, but that's okay. We're here to get right up to speed, and we've done some pretty cool stuff so far. We've imported a stereo track, we've created tracks, we've imported a bunch of stem files in our last lesson, and let's get at it. What we're going to do now is you learn a shortcut for condensing the information on the screen, making things a little easier to look at. Kind of a very handy shortcut is the Windows key plus up and down arrows to adjust the track height. And you can see we can get right up there when we're working and we need to get a detailed view. That's the Windows button and the up down keys. Up, of course, magnifies, and down key shrinks it down. And we could do that and then click on the next track and hit down Windows and the down key again, and continue to shrink tracks. Or we can do everything all at once, and we do that by adding the Alt key. So we'll hit the Window key, the Alt key, and the down key. And now we can shrink all the tracks together all at once, or magnify all the tracks all at once by the same thing, right? Windows, Alt, up and down key. Very, very valuable shortcut. So let's head over to our mix window again, and I'm sure you've had time to play back the tracks and check them out, see what's going on there. Let's do a little cleanup here, all right? We're going to get rid of our first mono track because we don't need that anymore. So we're going to right-click on the track itself, the track label itself, that is, and we're going to delete that track. And the second track we created, the stereo track, we're going to get rid of that too, because we don't really need that. Okay, and let's see. What we're going to do next here is set all the inputs again to no input, and I showed you how to do that in, I think it was lesson 2. So we're going to click Alt, hold down the input, and select no input. And that sets all the tracks to no input. All right, looking good. Next, we're going to do some track grouping now. If we take a listen to our first WW track here, if you've played back, you probably have found out that, or probably have discovered that it's a woodwind track. And you've probably had a listen, and if you've had to listen to the tracks and played around a little bit, you probably would have discovered that the one WW track is indeed a woodwind track, not a cat track like you're hearing in the background there. Sorry about that. It's my cat getting a little restless. Let's do a little playback here and see what we got. And indeed, we have a woodwind track. Very cool. So for all you guys who are not familiar with woodwinds, we're talking flutes, clarinets, oboes, bassoons, contrabassoons. All right, and let's take a listen here with our brass track here. Sound good? So in the mix process, it's often handy to group tracks together for easier editing and organization. So a few of the tracks that we may like to group together would be, say, the orchestral tracks. So the woodwinds, the brass, which I'm sure you have listened to already. And we'll take a listen to the strings here. And let's throw in the track 3 PBH, standing for piano, bells, and harp. Let's take a listen to those guys all together now. Yeah, Okay, we're going to create a new group of these tracks. Let's head up to the track menu, and we're going to select group, and we're going to call it orchestra. It seems to be a good name for that. We're going to leave the type as mix and edit group, orc for short, and we're going to leave the ID as A, and hit OK. And you'll see down here in the group menu that orc was indeed created. And now our tracks there, our orchestral tracks, are grouped together. So let's do a little bit more of arranging here. We're going to unmute those. And let's see, we're going to pull down our aux track down here just before our master. Click track, we can send that just before our master as well. Good, looking good, looking good. So our strings track, since that's part of the group of the orchestrals, let's move them up a little bit here. So we have them all grouped together. All right. Now you notice that now that these tracks are grouped in an edit and mix group, we can hit solo on one of those tracks and they all solo. So let's give that a listen. There we go, looking good. All right, let's pick it up next lesson. Well, we'll learn a few more new and interesting things. Hopefully you'll be there. All right, thanks a lot.